Morning guys, serious mode for a minute. Something that I don't really talk about very often on these videos is, well, if ever, is the fact that I am a lifelong wrestling fan and have been since about the age of 5. Now, I still watch it to this day. I've just finished watching last night's broadcast of Monday Night Raw. Now, obviously I didn't watch it live because in Britain it's broadcast at 2 o'clock in the morning. So obviously I didn't watch it then. And so now, obviously I know that wrestling is scripted and choreographed and all the rest of that. If you want to call it fake, you go ahead and call it fake. Frankly, I don't care. Obviously, there are certain points of it where it does become real, and last night was one of those certain points. About 2 hours into the broadcast, there was a tag team match going on, and it was very noticeable that the crowd suddenly became interested in something else that was going on. And this particular something else was happening at the announce table, where one of the announcers, a man by the name of Jerry the King Lawler, who was a professional wrestler, and to an extent still is, apparently he had collapsed. Now they made a very big point of saying this isn't part of the show. What they said was that this isn't part of the entertainment, which roughly translates to this is not part of the story that we're telling tonight. From what I understand, during the next commercial break that they went to, he was stretchered out and taken to the back where he was given CPR, and he was then taken to a hospital. And there was updates coming throughout the whole night. For the remaining hour that they were on air, at least. They left the show by saying that he'd had CPR at the arena. They'd taken him to the hospital. His condition had stabilised, which is obviously fantastic news. And I want to make a point of saying that at the time that I'm recording this, and it's about 9:45 Tuesday morning, British time, which would make it, what would it make it? It would make it about 4:45 a.m. Eastern American time, which I believe is 1:45 a.m. LA time, for example. Pacific time, that's what it's called. As of right now, he's still alive. But there has been a statement released saying that during the broadcast it was a heart attack that he had had. Now, obviously, we know how bad what can happen with them. There was other things that's been mentioned that I'd read, that he'd had a stroke, which I've got personal experience of because it's what set my granddad into the decline that eventually led to his passing. So I know how bad they can be. Not that I'm saying that you guys, don't. I'm not going to insult your intelligence or anything like that. Obviously, it is bad, but I've just got personal experience of it. I remember Jerry. My first memory of Jerry Lawler is, I believe it's the '93 King of the Ring, won by Bret Hart. I think it was the first King of the Ring that was actually a pay-per-view, as in a first pay-per-view King of the Ring. Bret won it, and there was an altercation at the throning, I believe is the best way I can put it, between Bret and Jerry, that basically started off their feud, which it's the first big feud that I remember being, from my time of watching wrestling. So yeah, Jerry Lawler had a major part to play in my first experiences of watching wrestling. So I'm going to end it there for now. If I do get any other updates, I mean, wrestling fans, you'll probably know already yourself, but you know, yeah, if I do get any more updates, I'll possibly post about it. I don't know. I mean, I just felt like I had to on this particular one. So I realise it's not likely that Jerry's ever going to see this. In fact, it's probably impossible or highly improbable that Jerry's ever going to see this. But get well soon, King, and keep fighting.